If you insist. Inside from 2007 is a French extremism horror movie, and it is quite brutal, so be warned. I also highly advise against watching this movie, or even maybe watching this video if you're pregnant. I'm gonna basically need to shield all the pictures I show because this movie is very bloody. Inside is about a pregnant woman named Sarah, and Sarah and her husband were involved in a car crash that ultimately killed her husband, but she survived. So now she's alone, she's grieving her husband's death, and it is Christmas Eve and she's overdue, so she's making plans to go to the hospital to deliver her baby. So she makes arrangements for her boss to bring her to the hospital. She refuses to let her mother stay with her because, again, she's understandably very depressed. That night while she's alone, Sarah gets a knock on her door and it's this mysterious woman asking to come in and to use the phone. Sarah's obviously freaked out and she's like, no, sorry, my husband's sleeping, so you can't come in because you'll wake him up. The woman, though, somehow knows that Sarah's husband is dead, so calls her out on that and keeps insisting to be let in. Sarah then sees the woman stalking her through a window. She tries to take a photo of her and she calls the police. When the police get there, though, obviously the woman is gone and they assure her that everything's safe and they're going to have a patrol car check in with her sporadically throughout the night. So Sarah's developing some photos and she develops the photo of the woman that she took that night. And she notices that it's the same woman in the background of a photo that she had taken earlier, meaning this woman has been stalking her. Sarah's sitting on the couch and at this point, we, the audience, see that the woman is already in the house and she's behind Sarah stalking her. Sarah, not knowing this, goes to sleep, but is swiftly woken up by the woman on top of her, puncturing her pregnant stomach with a pair of scissors. Sarah manages to fight her off and flees, locking herself in the bathroom. So Sarah is obviously terrified. The woman is outside the door trying to get in, and at this point, she makes it clear to Sarah that she is there because she's trying to take Sarah's baby for her own. But now there's a knock at the front door, and the woman goes to answer it, and it's Sarah's boss who's there to take her to the hospital to deliver her baby. And the guy's like, who are you? And she's like, oh, I'm Sarah's mother. Her boss has never met Sarah's mother, so doesn't know that she's lying. However, now Sarah's real mother shows up and she knows that something's up. So she goes upstairs to check on her daughter, and this scene is so devastating. She goes to open the bathroom door and Sarah assumes that she's the woman that's attacking her, and she stabs her in the neck and kills her own mother. Meanwhile, her boss, who is still downstairs, is attacked and killed by the woman. Sarah, now having killed her own mother and still being pursued by the woman, locks herself in the bathroom again. But remember, the police say that they were going to send a patrol car to check on her periodically, so now they show up and they knock on the front door. The woman answers and pretends to be Sarah, and the police start to take her word for it, but then one of them realizes that she's not pregnant. The two police officers now enter the home, and one of them is attacked by the woman and stabbed in the throat with a knitting needle and dies. Knowing somebody was at the door, the woman actually barricaded the bathroom door so Sarah could not get out. Sarah managed to carve a hole through the door to try to get out, but the woman caught her hand and then attached it to the wall with a pair of scissors by stabbing it through. The other police officer goes upstairs to see this and takes the scissors out, but then as he goes to rescue Sarah, is shot in the head by the woman and dies. A third officer goes in, but the woman cuts the power and then kills him too. So at this point, it's Sarah and the woman, and a fight ensues. They both manage to injure each other. One of the coolest parts is when Sarah uses an aerosol container and a cigarette to burn her face off. So the woman, now burned and weak, she also killed Sarah's cat earlier on, by the way, so fuck her. But she now reveals to Sarah that the reason she's doing all this is because she was the other driver in the car accident with Sarah and her husband, and she was pregnant and lost her baby. So now she wants to steal Sarah's baby as revenge, but also as a replacement for her own baby. This next scene is really bad. The third police officer ends up waking up, but now he's like blind and disoriented, and he mistakes Sarah for the killer, so starts beating her in the stomach, which causes her water to break and causes her to go into labor. The woman kills the police officer and now goes to Sarah, who is on the stairs in labor. The woman goes to help her give birth, but the baby is stuck, so now Sarah is just begging her to do what she came there for and just make sure her baby survives. So she takes that goddamn pair of scissors and she cuts Sarah open and takes the baby out. Sarah dies in the process, but the baby lives, and the last shot of the movie is the woman sitting on a rocking chair with the baby as the baby cries.